Forcefield? Well, you know me, I like to call a spade a Oh, Forcefield.
We simply take this sample of your blood and inject it into this medical guinea pig.
I've got children. I'm halfway through my Duke of Edinburgh award.
Forcefield.
But if I stick a pencil in it, I can see Jesus.
Forcefield.
Improvise. Oh, World War II stick grenade.
Forcefield.
The King of Pop died, and of course all the Michael Jackson impersonators had no choice but to commit suicide.
Forcefield. Forcefield.
Who are you talking to, and are you eating that biscuit? Answer the second one first.
I'm sure that everyone can remember a movie franchise or game franchise or a TV show that you really enjoyed and found great entertainment in, only for the producers of said piece of media to pull the plug on the project and cancel it forever, either due to a lack of interest or them cocking up and failing to attract an audience for it. For me, one of my favourite examples of this was Mongrels. Mongrels is a black comedy musical puppet show centred around a group of animals who routinely meet up behind the back of a pub and get into all sorts of outlandish conversations and storylines. In this group, there's Nelson, a metrosexual fox with an inflated sense of stature and ego.
I am a fox. I just don't let it define me.
You have Destiny, an Afghan hound who's extremely self-centered, look-centric and narcissistic.
I'm sexy, cute and savvy. You're why cousins shouldn't marry.
Marion, a cat with lacking mental clarity and focus who constantly gets himself into situations out of pure idiocy.
I have fatally misjudged the distance to the sofa.
He's also just got a very bizarre accent.
Okay, so here's a funny story. Tomorrow morning, I'm getting surgically castrated.
Callie, a pigeon that, while wanting to be helpful, will also go to extreme lengths to reinforce this idea that she's hardcore and gangster-minded.
The pigeon stole me Kit Kat.
And Vince, Nelson's cousin, who is a complete fucking sociopath, where one moment he might break down and be emotional, and the next he might try to steal from, fuck and kill anything in his way. He also loves saying but hates to be called a which sends him into a vicious rage.
Did you just call me a
The show had 2 seasons to it, with the first one broadcasted in 2010 and the second in 2011, with a whole variety of themes and character arcs played through a black comedy lens. The first episode sets the series off on a strong start, focusing on the idea of Nelson trying out a dating site and he ends up meeting with Wendy, a chicken. This is pretty taboo for the both of them for very obvious reasons, but they decide to talk anyway, seeing how they've already made the effort and they discover they have a lot more in common than they expected. This, of course, causes problems as Vince embraces his fox-like nature and is very keen on killing chickens that he smells, leading to the first musical cue of the show.
Chickens, come all the way to Hong Kong.
After which, both Vince and Nelson are captured by Wendy, who intends to kill them for all the chickens that have been killed by foxes, with the two managing to kill her and reflect on it.
Never go out with someone from a different species or genetic background to yourself. I got pretty messy, by which I mean I cut her head off with a plastic knife.
This episode focuses on the obvious themes of problems with biases and the folly of getting revenge through proxy killings, with both Vince and Wendy being prejudiced and causing issues just because of each other's species.
Okay, I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but some of that could have sounded prejudiced.
The music cue, Fuck Chickens, is used to highlight the prejudice against other races and the stigma around them. In the final part of the episode, it also shows how certain members of racist or prejudiced groups tend to be hypocrites that engage with the individuals or behaviours they say they condemn, with Vince being captured at the end because, despite his hatred of chickens, he went on a dating site and decided to engage in the ultimate taboo, fucking a chicken.
Always had a thing about poultry. The dirtiest thing you could do, innit? In a chicken.
At the same time, we also have multiple subplots to help balance out the tension of the main plot. Marion is basically homeless most of the time, and in this starter episode we see him accidentally kill his latest owner, causing him to become homeless once again. And we see him, with the assistance from Callie, try to take the place of another missing cat.
He has a slightly lazy eye.
Got it covered, and what?
This has its ups and downs until the original cat comes back, forcing Marion to once again become homeless. And as his newest owner wanted to get the other cat neutered, Marion unfortunately has to take the bullet for that one as well. So he's now left with no home and no balls.
Well, it's not like getting a haircut, they don't just grow back.
I knew that. I didn't know that.
We also have Destiny, who is sick and tired of being taken to doggy dance classes, ends up meeting one of the dogs that go to the disobedience classes next door, and decides she's going to go to a room full of bad boys so she can do what she wants. So she attacks her owner and gets sent there as well, with Callie providing some background commentary.
Because you're making it go back in.
Okay.
This segment ends with her realising that dog clickers exist, and these end up hypnotising her and the other dogs and showing that she'll never be a dog that can just do whatever she wants.
It'll take more than some plastic clicker to tame this bitch. Believe it.
This is the very first episode, and it already shows exactly the tone and level of writing on display for the show's entire run. I mean, the very first scene is Marion's owner talking about how much she loves him, and him coming to terms that even though he isn't the first cat that she's ever loved, she does love him just as much as the other cats that she's had in her life. And then she comically trips down the stairs and breaks her neck as he screams in frustration and tries to give her CPR. It then turns out that 4 months have passed and she's now a rotten corpse, with him casually walking away as the pensioner's body begins to get eaten by the other cats living in the house. It's just such a hilariously morbid way to start a show.
Also, she did the Christopher Reeve down the stairs and died.
The show also has some cutaway gags throughout it, either focusing on a personal situation the characters have been through, or they're a retelling of history with some comedic twists added to it. For instance, when they're still hiding their relationship from the rest of the group, Nelson tries to keep Wendy cooped up and hidden away, trying to play board games to pass the time. This backfires when Vince hears them playing Boggle, where Nelson reflects that he should have known better after what happened to Anne Frank, with us getting this scene.
Yahtzee!
There's quite a lot of cutaway gags in this show, and luckily there's none that are like the Family Guy ones that waste your time or just play music. There's always something of substance or comedy being shown. Two of my favourites is when Callie and Marion are talking about his past owners.
Yeah, but how about that time your first owner taught you to swim?
And when Nelson reflects on his possible rabies-related anger issues.
I bet you're chomping at the bit.
Champing, it's champing. Champing! 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 Champing!
The show also goes out of its way to subvert your expectations to make the comedy take you by surprise. When Nelson and Wendy are spending the day out together and bonding with each other, they end up winning a big bag of grain in a carnival game. Later, when they reach a boat, it only allows 2 occupants on the boat seats and nothing else. You think, by the way that Nelson looks between the grain and Wendy, he's going to try and throw the grain away so the two of them can go on the boat, or that he'd let her and the grain go for a lake straw while he sits on the side. He's a gentleman after all, he wants to make the lady happy. Instead, he just knocks the lake warden unconscious and all 3 of them get to ride the boat. And then of course, there's the why did the chicken cross the road segment, which not only has the irony of a fox helping a chicken cross the road, but what she says isn't exactly what you'd expect.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Because there's a black person coming and I'm scared he's gonna mug me.
The musical sections are also really well done. Not only are they all really well choreographed on screen by the puppets, props and set designs, but the wide variety of topics, comedy and the catchiness of the beats themselves are all just really well done. I'd say that out of all of them, I Wanna Murder Justin Bieber, What a Difference a Day Makes, and Going to a Shit House Party are my 3 favourite songs. Of course, like with many well-received, genuinely well-crafted shows, the people at the top completely mismanaged how to release this show. This is an adult show with a lot of violence, sex and inappropriate language and topics, so it was never going to get a TV time at a convenient hour. In the UK, most likely this would have been lucky to get released at 7 PM at the earliest, but this show tended to get pushed back to 8, sometimes even 9 PM. Now, a show that releases late isn't exactly the best, but if it's released on the right day, it can still work out. Unfortunately, this show was released very late late on Sundays. People have just had the weekend to enjoy themselves and stay up late, and now they had to get things ready for the rest of the week and get some sleep before going back to work on Mondays. No one was staying up to watch this show. I mean, I was, but I was like 12 with sleep issues. It's not like I was getting up at 3 in the morning to go to work. As such, the viewing figures weren't exactly great, and so instead of just moving it to an earlier slot or on a different day, the BBC just cancelled it altogether, meaning we would never get a third season. I would highly recommend you watch this show. There's not a lot of avenues to reach it, I'll admit, but you can definitely buy it for about £10 on Amazon Prime streaming and just buying the DVD collection. Overall, it was a snappy, well-crafted passion project that, although it didn't get the love it deserved at the time, will hopefully always be remembered as one of those shows that had a lasting impact on the people who watched it. Thanks for watching, lads and lasses. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing and checking out some of my other videos. Sharing always helps, and if you're feeling really generous, please consider my Patreon or YouTube membership. But most of all, I just hope you had a great day, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.